T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Walk to Westport!
Hey, it's me! Woo! Happy Saturday, everybody! Welcome to another edition of the Best Grow Show. That's the show we're watching right now. And I'm Chad Westport. And y'all are awesome. That's what I'm calling you today. I've got a pretty badass guest who just dropped in. This is someone who I've known for many years, and our philosophies groove, man. I really enjoy what he does, how he does it, the way he speaks about positivity and manifesting the future. With no further delay, I'm gonna bring him in. I call him John, but he's Mr. Growspacekilla. How you doing today?
Very, very well. Thank you for having me, Chad. It's been too long. It's been too long.
It really has. We both lead kind of busy lives, and we've gotten busy, but I'm glad that we
Well,
get the chance to connect today, even though we're kind of both in the middle of madness. Me
well,
just
I'm
getting
not a
back,
rock
man.
star like you, flying all around the world, Amsterdam and back. That's your home away from home, I guess now.
Well, if we're going rock star, let's just say, how many trophies do you have on your shelf there, sir?
N-
More than a couple.
Well, not like my our good friend Alex, the chef, the goat, the people's champ. You know,
Yes.
mine aren't all first place. And we don't win all the time. But that being said, I was happy to find out that I haven't been able to win at the Harvest Cup. That's in Worcester. That's pretty much the biggest thing around here. Hey, Alex is going in. Oh,
Yeah.
nice, sweet.
Speaking of
So
the chef.
he's the one that always brings home first place faithfully. He just won again. He wasn't going to enter because he's been working so hard, and he's already won against all the big guys, and they kind of put it into a home grower category, which it is what it is. But I was just like, bro, I got your back. You got to stay up. Let's throw down your gummies. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. And of course he did. So, but at the Harvest Cup, he got first and second place. But unfortunately, they don't give you a recognition for third place, and they don't even like publicize it. But I found out after the fact that the guy Jeremy that runs the thing picked my dab, and the chef and I had the sugarcane that he ran outdoors as a combo, as like a collab entry, and that came in sixth place out of 20. But my entry came in third out of 20. But it's not, I feel like, man, I wanted that bronze medal. It's not always about, it's not about winning, but it's nice to know that like you're still, you're hanging up there in the higher percentile. And then the one that we won 2 weekends ago in Maine, no, well, whatever it was, We got to see Lobster Fam. Shout out to, all the FCP family and everybody on this journey. There's so many amazing people. We just keep growing the family. But, we got first place. That was our first collab for our rosin relief rub, which has a lot of stuff in it that's, and it's made from rosin, stuff you can actually dab. I wouldn't say it's like prime white, but it's still quality. For nobody puts that in their in their creams or their salves. So we came in first with that, and then come to find out that we came in third at the Harvest Cup out of 11, but it wasn't publicized too. So really, Chef won first, second, and third combined with me, and I had a third and half of a third.
Yeah.
So it's like, those are just, but
I mean,
it's really about testing yourself. It's really about, the love for the plant, the intent, the passion that you put in. And it's more, for me now, winning is more about getting up and saying, this is grown in our living organic soil. I use all these products. I'm wearing your hat right now. We got you match. I knew you were going to wear that. I have my green one though, but that's connection that we even had before we even knew each other was, and you actually went to school with Tad, but he's been phenomenal, as well as FCP and many other Shango Los. Like, I could sit here and talk about all the people that I've inundated myself with. And even at the Soil Life Summit, I kind of said on stage, like, it's pretty much, it's a passion and quite possibly an obsession. But I know that this plant does so much for so many people, and we've been lied to our whole lives about it, and the stigma and everything. And when you see people that are really good, kind people, like the definition of being, a benevolent and caring, and you kind of got to watch your back. You have to navigate. We talked about that earlier. It's kind of like, I'm here to promote the plant. I'm here to elevate the craft. That's kind of my slogan. And I'm here for the to respect the plant, the patient, and the planet. That's kind of my mantra now. And I need to make a shirt before someone steals it. But I have so many good ideas. We even talked about that. But when you're true to the plant, when you're true to yourself, and when that this plant helps you, and you can see the potential for it, it's kind of like, no, I want everybody to grow, and then to get into growing their own vegetables. Their own, that's medicine.
The gateway to gardening.
Yeah, so I know we've said this on our interview before, and you were the first to interview me, and we're going to be bringing home some awards with your grape juice. I don't want to touch on, I don't even know what my entry is yet, but I did enter it just recently at NECAN. I showed you the test results. I plated it beautifully. It's delicious. It's delicious. Everybody's like, oh, it's the candy chem, but no, it's not the candy chem, but it's fire. It's fire. We'll just put it in one word.
I've got, thank you. And then, again, you're a very, very special and rare person to actually have the actual cut. It's not the S1s that we're putting out. It's my cut, which was cool to see get tested as well, too, because now that provides me, with a lot more data that I didn't have. One thing that kind of surprised me on the analytics for it was there we go. Yeah. Well,
and this is age. This went to Las Vegas and back. Steve Cantwell dabbed it. He loved it. The champ dabbed your stuff, bro. And even Green Bodie was like Terp Lord, and I'm not, like, there's so many people that I respect and in the game and doing so many amazing things. Now that I've immersed myself, I know so many amazing artisans and art, women and men that are just amazing. Kudos to all of, and we just got to keep pushing the bar. That's what it is. Like, so this is older. I'm not trying to, it was really beautiful color earlier, but it's actually changed in the nuance. I think it's actually even better now as a medicinally, the whole overall effect.
It's kind of funny to me because I have a lot of people that I know that I've never been able to meet in person being like, dude, I saw John at the Soil Life Summit. I tried that grape juice, like
got
all
to
these
talk
people.
to Tad. I finally got to meet Tad, and I gave him some of that that was the first thing I did. And even Peter, thank you, Peter Severi, if you're,
Oh God, yeah.
God
Peter's
bless,
Peter Long
the
Pipe,
platform. That's why
Future
I'm repping
Cannabis
that.
Project.
It's
Yeah,
right.
Peter's the man
So
behind the
much
Future
great
Cannabis
content.
Project, and the Dog and Duck Garden who did the Westports Posse drop. So yeah, like Peter is an all-time MVP in my heart, and always will be. And then Chef, that's awesome, Alex, to read here. Several hash makers, because as you've gone through your progression, your product speaks for itself. The quality, the passion that you put into it. So you've been able to progressively meet more and more people on like the artisan level, not just some people doing it, like the people who, as you said, kind of more than a passion, it's probably obsession at this point. Um, so to kind of hear that, and again, seeing those test results was cool. The CBG surprised me. There's a
Yeah,
considerable amount
yeah.
of CBG in the Westport Grape Juice.
So maybe so that's one thing that, like, well, I know we're going off on a tangent, but to me that could mean that maybe I needed to take it longer. Like, I honestly didn't pull that to make hash. I pulled that because I entered yours as flower as well. Um, um, I actually entered my purple 818, my green 818, and the Westport grape juice because they were all so fire. But like, I remember seeing your article. I think I read it in the Skunk Magazine article of your strain review of the grape juice, and it was something like 56 to 63 days, as I recall, maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, like 50, 55, 60 days it usually finishes
so
for me.
so I definitely harvested within that window. And honestly, the way that I grow with the solar cure and the UV, and then also the Le Mans start, shout out to Wilf Siegel, he's coined that, with basically that means like 24 to 36 hours of darkness prior to flipping. A lot of people like to ramp up to it. I've done it many different ways, but that seems to be the way to actually really facilitate the phytochrome far red doesn't ever go back. And by that, if you just do that 36 hours of total darkness and then you have to take a cut, it'll almost look monster corrupt when you take that cut. It'll kind of almost you
Oh
almost
wow.
have to reverse it, because it'll start looking funky. Maybe put on one leaves and stuff.
3 finger blades out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So, but anyway, I know I'm going off on many different things,
No,
but
no.
I did not harvest that early, or like a hash maker might pull it just a little earlier to have that bag appeal of the color, which is, I guess, depending on the cultivar, that could be, good or bad. I don't know. Like, so the more we learn about that, but that CBG may be that I didn't bring it full enough, that it didn't convert into some other phytocannabinoid. You know
But
what I mean? Like
the
that building
THC
block.
number was fine though. So I mean,
Oh
CBG is
yeah,
like you said, it's the building block. Everything
yeah.
comes from that, but it's not like the THC was lacking and you traded it for
No,
CBG. It was kind of
what was it? Almost 25, 24 point something. Like, and
yeah.
that's respectable. Like, honestly, even I think it was I forgot they do it in your area, the Oregon Tilt or whatever. Well, it's done. It's a cup. It's a cup, but it's a double blind method. It's something I would love to be like go to. Um,
Right.
but they were finding that really it was the 18 to 20. Not much. The people had more enjoyed like organoleptics from stuff that was more like 18 to 20. All the
Yeah.
stuff over 20, even to the dismay of all the growers, were like, I'm not even growing that stuff. I'm growing all this stuff with the big numbers.
Right.
The more enjoyable for the masses. And they had to really tiptoe on how they did this because it was doctors and everything, but because they just want to make sure they don't get in trouble. They couldn't make it like a real medical experiment. But the
Right.
takeaway was the most enjoyable cannabis is probably the 18%. I mean, we love us older people that need that strength. And that's what I liked about the grape juice. It definitely had that. It's definitely more relaxing and more subdued, like than my A18. It's a little bit more racy, but
Yeah.
it's not too much. It's like kind of like I can still go and do activity and be, happy and don't want to just sit and watch, be couch locked or whatever. But it
Yeah.
does have that wonderful calming too. So I'm like, you did say it was a nighttime strain. I'd say it's an all day strain if you smoke like a lot of us do, but
It's it's not the straight gas stick in the dirt, but I do kind of wonder because it has that mellowing effect on me, which is kind of why I'm like, usually more nighttime is when I want to mellow down.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do wonder actually if the CBG has a little bit of a role in that because that is kind of one thing that they are looking at as far as like sleep aid with different cannabinoids. So or CBN as well, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
CBG was one of those things that they're looking at for all kinds of things, really. Um,
Good
but yeah,
for
that'll be interesting.
stomach ailments as well, and Crohn's and
Yeah,
things like that.
real quick. I know this
Yeah,
guy is kind of creepy. Let's do a giveaway. I always like to do on the shows. I always like to
I'm gonna
do.
do a dab of the grape juice.
Dude, it's kind of again kind of funny seeing you take the dab, getting feedback from the other people. Like I've never dabbed the Westport Grape Juice, never dabbed it. But I still have a whole bunch of hash I need to make, and I'll reach out to somebody for a press. But I
Was
got
I
to come up with
indeed
a new.
the first to actually wash it? Because it's definitely a dumper. I didn't do the
Yeah,
math on it because I think I had 5 plants in the last run, and even someone was like, "Don't take up your whole room. You don't even know what it's like yet." And dude, it just checked all the boxes. I was just so
thank you.
you know definitely lived up
Every
to the hype.
everything it touches so far has dumped. Like people have actually been like are double checking their numbers. I'm stoked to have some actually in the hands of DP, Steve. Someone know DP because he's really doing his thing now, and I know he's gonna
Yeah.
watch it. I just sent him a whole bunch, so hopefully he can grow some out and give me some more feedback. But yeah. Maybe Ty, no, because Ty washed the Chud, which was the Westport Grape Juice times the
Oh,
Afghani
Ty
number
Sticks,
one.
not Ty
Yeah.
Grows. That's our friend, the apple farmer.
Well, same,
Shout out,
same,
shout out to both of them. They're all fucking
uh,
both good dudes.
same. Yeah, he watched it, got ridiculous return. And I've had other people watch like the Nakatomi Plaza, and they were just like, "This is stupid." So,
Was it somewhere near the 5% range or four
oh
point
yeah,
something?
one person was talking near 12.
Maybe.
I'm like,
Oh, that must
and
be
again,
on.
I didn't know his method. I didn't. I can't remember his method. He told me, but I can't remember his method. Uh,
That's probably on dry, cured, washed.
yeah,
I mean,
probably. This
because
isn't
of
my
the.
world.
But no. I mean, so seriously, like I started off doing, and I still do sometimes because that's kind of how I like to. Yeah, 25%
On the Chud, yep.
return. 12. Oh no, I need my glasses. 12.25. Yes.
12.2.
So, but that makes sense because honestly, and it's not a true measure. You got to really do the math. It's really getting high tech now, so you got to do all these things to really, bring the best quality to the market or to the patient. But
Yeah.
basically, when I was squishing, and I don't even know, I think I did. I think I squished it in a flower form, just like a bottle tech or chattel tech with two
Yeah.
open ends. And it's definitely, it was something like, yeah, 3 grams got me, 4 grams got me a gram. It was like almost 25% when it comes, but this is not washing. There's waxes, there's lipids, there's other stuff. You have to kind of squish it when it has just enough moisture. Like the best time to squish is if you're going to do flower rosin is pretty much when it's just ready to get burped, like just ready to go in the jar. It's like, okay, I'm taking it down from hanging. It's dry. Now I need to start the whole curing process. But when it does that tick, or if that, you don't need to break off, the classic,
Hmm.
how we've been taught to,
Have you
to
trimmed
cure.
it?
That's when
Have
you
you
want
trimmed it
just
at this
enough
point?
moisture. What's that?
Have
What's
you
that?
trimmed it at this point? Because again, I'm
Oh,
curious as far as just like the process. Uh,
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what I did was fresh frozen. So I basically harvested the tops and hung them, and then I meticulously cut all fan leaves or anything that didn't have any sugar on it into little thumb-sized nugs, whatever it was. I only took the top main apical or the colas
mhm.
because I wanted the best choice ones to enter as flower for you. Because I've definitely do it. You're the first to interview me, and I'm honored to have it that you would trust me. Never meeting, but just knowing the people that we are, and that really definitely touched me because to me respect and integrity and being a man of your word is basically, that's, without that, you have nothing. You're a piece of crap, or whatever. But anyway, like, live up to your word. If you fuck up, you fuck up. You say, I chopped a tree. I'm sorry, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
totally
you just have to, we're not always perfect. So, but like, and it's not always easy either. There's always things that you learn that you wish you employed earlier. And I know I just went off on another tangent, but yours definitely presses about 25% from the flower, and that makes sense because it's 24 from the results of dried. And I think they take into effect the moisture factor in that test.
Interesting. Let's give away some of the no worries. Let's give away some of the S1s. I still have some of these here. The Westport Grape Juice S1 turns out to a Westports posse. So I'm talking to you. Watch this one. It's like
did Soma give you that hat? You look like that's Soma Westport.
Yeah, no. I do get kind of a Soma hat here. I did pick it up in the Netherlands, though. Little fear and loathing too, but I just chill. Yeah, let's see.
You're already at the finish line. You already finished the race. There you go.
Right, just gotta
wave the checker flag.
All right, everybody, if you are in the U.S. only, please, sorry about that, but U.S. only, 173 watching right now. That is freaking fabulous. U.S. only, just go ahead and type dumper into the chat section right now with everybody. And in just a couple of minutes, I will hit that button, and I hope you win.
So what
Michael,
is that? Which one is that? That's the posse?
Yep. So Westport's Posse, which is just the S1 of the Westport Grape Juice. And then I'll also be giving away some of the Twin Peaks a little bit later, which is an increase from Lucky Dog Seed Co. I'll explain this one a little bit more. And then, as always, thank you big time to Grade A Summer Bitch for always sponsoring giveaways. So I've got more of his seeds, the purple meds. And we've always got the cool little loop here. Pull it out. This is like the coolest little tool that he sent. But it's got all your on it. So 20, 90, whatever you need. Okay, so I can never get. Oh, look at that. It's upside down, but you get the point.
Does it have a UV? Does it have a UV in it?
Yes, nice. It has a black light in it. So that helps like detect like bug poop and PM and stuff. Fluorescent, it'll glow fluorescent under the black light. So we'll be giving those away as well later in the show. But it's about getting people growing, man. And I know that's something you're into as far as just education aspect. Because we both really approach this from, it's the medicinal plant aspect. It's not a get rich, die trying type thing. So that's again, I kind of think where we bond too. It's something that we have passion for, but we'd also be doing it even if nobody was looking. And we've been doing it for a long time when nobody was looking. But particularly yourself, the craft that you've managed to turn this into is what's getting people's attention. And it's kind of fun too because you were talking about streets earlier.
I just want to say there's a lot of cats. There's a lot of wonderful men and women that are out there that are really amazing cultivators. All up and down the East Coast. People you're going to see the quality. And let's not forget that a lot of these chems and sours basically came from out east, and made it out west. And, but not to say that, I'm still got it on my Mecca to go to like an Emerald Cup, or I know they don't do the golden tarp, that was awesome, the light depth thing. And but sorry, I want
to talk about that because you just touched on something that was super important and something that we have kind of talked about behind the scenes too. Like I want to talk about like strain names and like lineages and like the importance of it and like why some people might want to know it. Some of the things that have happened to like strains over time, whether it's, like renaming, I've just mentioned, like the chems, you've mentioned diesel. Some of these things are, those two in particular are bag seeds. It's kind of funny. Some of the most like popular seeds or known seeds have come from bag seeds.
Right
Um,
on.
and then there's
Absolutely.
there's a lot of like mixture too. Like the Westport Grape Juice is something that I have, and your your buddy was like, dude, this really reminds me of Candy Chem. Like,
Have you heard that
really
before,
reminds
though?
him of it. I've never heard that, and I actually want
Okay,
to
okay.
find some Candy Chem because I've never tried it. It was a new strain to me when you mentioned it,
We're on it. We're on
because
it.
Chem
Uncle
usually
Doobie, Uncle
doesn't.
Doobie's already on that because he's
Good.
convinced that it's, and he's like, no, maybe it's not, but we're gonna compare it.
I
So
want to send him.
he's reached out through the network, and I think
Cool.
he knows someone who has it, and he's going to be getting it so that we can
Can
get to the bottom of the grape juice. No, I'm just kidding. No.
what I want to do too, and this will probably help him. Actually, it'll probably get more questions and answers. But I'd love to send him a bunch of S1s. Like if he has the space to run S1s, I'm happy to send him the S1s, and he can go through them and see the different things because there are distinct traits uh, in there from parental lineage. Um, so that would be interesting because I'm
What?
curious for Candy Chem, and he's curious for the to try the S1s. I'd imagine.
Well, you had sent me some photos of the grape juice, and maybe that was the S1s, the different, and there were definitely subtle differences, and some even coloration. One I
Yeah.
remember was kind of more like yellow, more keratins than because it does have a beautiful bag appeal. Um, Depending on the heat in the room, which I'm not really controlling as good as I could, I know I can get like the winter when I grew those, they were beautiful. They were pink and purple. They weren't like dark purple like my 818 headband, but it still had a beautiful coloration, and then yellows and oranges too. So it had both, anthocyanin and keratins, and definitely had. But it definitely, and it's a really loud stem rub too. Like it's
Yeah.
grapes. Like even when I was first defoliating, because now I do a lot more. I don't necessarily totally schwaze, but like I've definitely been kicked off the path of kind of the Jorge Cervantes leave every leaf unless it's like half yellow, or unless it's diseased, and get rid of it. Now it's kind of like, no, there is a science to taking these leaves off. It actually helps put on weight. It definitely helps maturity, and certainly for making hash. That's kind of one of the things is you're going there and you're like doing a heavy defoliate like on like week 2, and then later on like day 35 or something, and then that's it. It's
Now,
like,
do you on the flour, or because again I haven't tried the concentrate of it, but on the flour, do you get on the back end just like a little bit of gas, or is there like any kind of hints of gas to you, or did that come through on what you had?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, yeah, I mean, well,
Faint.
remarkably, it is almost the same, because I entered those 3 in the Nican. And then I got to find out why I like the grape juice so much, because it really is the closest array of terpenes. I can't say because that like we're missing the other part of the information with not knowing the thiols, esters, aldehydes,
Yeah.
like the other things that aren't necessarily in a lab yet. Hopefully, we'll get that in there because that's part of how the whole synergy and the entourage, and really we'll find out more than not. It's not necessarily a terpene that's really getting us. It's probably more like ester
I
or
know
diol.
it kind of sucks, and I'm gonna do the drawing here at the conclusion of this thought. So I thank everybody for hanging on with this, but um, it kind of is funny and it sucks at the same time that now we've spent so much time learning about terpenes, because there is a lot of information out there as far as aromatherapy and terpenes and what they do, how they relate to cannabis, how they interact with people, maybe the synergy effect, how it steers the ship. All of these things have been associated with terpenes, and now again, this is why we need to study the plant. But the more we know, we're kind of like, terpenes are cool, but maybe it's not the whole story. So it's like, fuck, we have to go learn more. And now everything we thought is maybe not what we thought it was. They're still important. We know this, but to my point, it's like, damn it, we keep learning stuff about this plant.
I mean, Dr. Ethan Rousseau would probably say we need to stop using like cultivar and like say chemovar, because
That's that's the best way.
it just shows
Yeah.
how much the chemical makeup are very similar, even though well, we'll find out when you decide, because I know this is fun for you to not tell people. But anyway, that being said, you wanted to
True.
talk about why people, and you're like, it's
I,
not
I
that
did.
serious, but
Oh,
it is. So
yeah.
you need to understand that, like, some of the homies that are, all these, old cats and all the people that have been doing this, that, the traditional market, the people, the reason why we have the amazing cannabis that we have today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody needs to
Let's
succeed together, but like, I'm all for the small guys and the guys that really sacrifice, the guys that really had the balls. I never did that to that extent, and so
yeah.
I see that, and then I see that as the only reason that we have the phenomenal cannabis that we have today, because of their passion and their brazen, or their
Taking the
just
chance. Well,
yeah, just
do we or don't we? Because we're so far along. We'll discuss this here in a second because this is fun, and I can also see myself playing devil's advocate in this conversation.
but
So, all of the
that
expression, yeah,
what I was trying to say, that it goes about paying homage to those people that did the work, that took
yeah.
those licks, that um, that we need to give thanks for, and give pay respect, and because we wouldn't have and all the stuff that was lost. That's even much more of a crying shame. That's like, right, like Kevin talks about almost losing skunk, or pretty much because of it was so loud, nobody wanted to grow it, or it just got raided, and it kind of you know got
Or is it?
weeded out of the gene pool, or it was like, well, no pun intended, but like,
Yeah.
but it's about paying homage to the people who put the work in, who did the breeding, that took the risks, that are the dope history. That's why when you're like, it's not that serious, it's like, wait, doesn't he do
Well,
this show
you're
with
giving away all
chat?
the answers. You're giving away
Like,
all the answers here. Hold on, hold on. Let me give away these beans real quick. Let me give away the beans, and then we'll continue the conversation because you're absolutely right with a lot of this stuff. Okay, everybody in the U.S., you are playing for a pack of the Westports Posse, the S1s. Good luck. Enter Dumper into the chat. And I will hit the go button here. 120, 130 of you. Let's see. All right, here we go. And again, guys, this isn't the last giveaway because I love to get people growing. That's what we're here for. And we're going to have an important conversation. Congratulations to Plant Killer. That's awesome. Plant Killer.
nice,
Uh,
good name.
yeah, I know. I kill every single plant that I grow, just at a pre-planned time when they're looking good and right. But I kill them all. So, plant killer, I feel you. Please let me know in chat that you are from the U.S. and reach out to me in the DMs on Instagram. My link is down in the show notes. John's Growspacekilla. Instagram is also down in the show notes, guys. Definitely give him a follow as well. Plant killer gets
That's
the posse. All right, I'm ready to posse down. Okay, so let's actually get to this because this is it's an important conversation, and I don't think that a lot of people in the chat, or people within the last over a decade easily, and a decade is a long ass time, uh, can fully understand or appreciate the passion that goes behind a lot of what we're going to be talking about. And I'd love to hear your opinions. Um, and I realize they're going to be all over the place, but I think it's a cool conversation to have. So, okay. So, Westport Grape Juice. I have decided, you're smoking on it now. I have decided, and this is for my own selfish shits and giggles, for 10 years to not tell anybody what the lineage is. And that I know is going to drive some people. What I can say is it's not somebody else's work renamed. It is not something that is out there as far as out there to people. The parents are a selection, but they are of somebody else's work, two separate people's works that were sorted, selected, continued forward. Um, that's what I can say. Here's why I'm doing it. Again, um, as a fan, and this kind of goes to the conversation, as a fan of like cannabis, lineages, and strains, we hear so many truths. There are a lot of people that have the truth about OGs. There are so many people that have the truth about Kush, Chem, Skunk. How many people have you said, I have the true skunk? So there are a lot of truths out there. And as a fan trying to make sense of a lot of these things, I'm a fan of Obey Giant, right? Shepherd Fairy. That's actually what I ripped off for this. This is the Obey Giant fucking sticker with my face over it, and I changed 520 to 420. That's exactly what it is. And what he did is just a social experiment. He went around and he just posted this everywhere, and nobody really knew what it meant. It never really had a meaning. But over time, people had all sorts of speculation, and it was this fun kind of social experiment. So seeing how that has happened with cannabis, and particularly the more famous strains, I'm like, what if this strain actually does something? It probably won't. What if it does? If it does, wouldn't that be fun to like hear in 10 years what the truth is, but really be the one that actually knows the truth? So again, selfish reasons. Um, but that's where we're at, and that's how we got on this
I
conversation.
mean,
Because
it's
you're
it's
talking,
gonna
I'll let
happen.
you talk.
It's gonna happen because people are always chasing the hype, which really kind of just boils down to like bag appeal all the time. And
So
that's not
hi.
always the best medicine. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Or they're or they're not getting that loop out that you showed earlier, and looking at to see, are there some capitulate glands on the stalks? Are they just all like, you look at some of the stuff, it's beautiful, it's purple, it looks white and frosty. But then when you look under it, just under a loop, not like, you're like, wait, oh, those are all just stalks without glands and crystal of hairs. It's like there's actually, or they're just like a type of gland that's not even, doesn't even have a top to it. It's not, it's just a stalky or whatever. It's just like a tail type of thing. Well, the tails are technically the
It's
crystal
all for
hairs,
show.
but
Basically,
it's
it's all
like,
for
but
show.
but it looks white and bling and purple, and then it smells really good, but it just doesn't get you there like some of these good hybrids that we like the grape juice, like the headbands, the diesels. There's all different types. Like I was trying to figure out what I had. We got to talk to Shaw Bud about what's the 707 headband as opposed to like the Loompa headband or this or that. Like so it kind of ties into that. So we want to know provenance. Like we don't want to, like, it's about paying homage, but it's also about kind of keeping record and not losing the culture. Like it's part of the culture. You know what I mean? It really is, because there's
How
breeders, there's growers, there's people that just like to go around and smoke but then there's people that like live it every day. I mean, like that's kind of
It's
like
life.
the
It's
plants not like
plants are
Dan.
24/7.
Right. It,
They don't take vacations. They don't sleep. They need to be done when they're done. Name and provenance is important, but how do you feel about like a Royal Queen seed selling sour diesel? Because that's the name, right? So it has to be the
right.
sour diesel, right?
No, well, see, this
No,
that
it's a
it's
loaded
exactly what we're
question.
saying. Like, yeah, no, because my good friend Uncle Doobie, he's that's one thing when you know what you have, and equivalently everybody tries to compare it, but then you're like looking at it and you're like, oh no, it's this and that, and that's a whole nother avenue. But it's the same type of thing. We kind of want to keep track of it. It doesn't mean it wasn't like a bag seed or like that well, whatever, we'll just say that blue dream is from a bag seed. It's not the cut, you know what I mean? Like, did come from the cut, but it's off of a, whatever pollinated or
Well, these honestly, John.
intersex.
Yep. And John, this is kind of why I wanted to talk to you about it too, because I don't think a lot of people are like privy to just the information that we are as far as kind of what goes on behind the scenes and why provenance is important, why trying to source it is important, and why people get really, you know, defensive, I guess, for lack of a better word, about certain strains. Because again, that Royal Queen seeds, saying something is like a sour diesel, and I've not tried it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't have it. But I could see like AJ fucking Top Dog, sour diesel
Right.
or JJ getting a little like
All
butthurt about that. It's like, what the fuck, man? This is my thing,
right.
and now people may think it's this. People may be thinking that sour diesel is actually this, when in reality, it's fucking this.
Well, just like you just named a bunch of, but like that's still, they're all very good work, but they're just different. You know what I mean? They're all real good. But that's why we kind of want to know, oh, is it that one? Is it I don't, it's just and some people go crazy about that because they're so, and I've never been on the forums, I've never really interacted. I've only had my IG since like this November will be 3 years, so I've really been pretty much a ghost. Should have been, you know ghost grow killer or whatever, but anyway, um ghost space again, ghost space
Space
ghost.
killer.
But anyway, I needed to think of something, and it was like, oh, this is where you're going to react, interact with people and all this. But I've only had it for that long. It's in. I forgot where I was going with that, but
No, it's
anyway,
okay. We're talking, and I don't want to, get on like too touchy subject or get anybody in trouble here. I just kind of wanted to just touch on the importance of it.
I
And
guess it's just
sometimes,
about, you want to know what the chain of custody is. You kind of want to know, where did it come from. I mean, you should, because there might be things that you might have heard that you might want to avoid too. Like, but we're coming a long way with. Um, and it's just amazing now that we can just kind of not worry about sending seeds in the mail and all this stuff because of the hemp
I think,
bill and the Farm Act or
honestly, I
whatever.
I think we're so far down the name game that I really honestly don't believe anything anymore. I have to try it for myself. I have to grow it for myself. We really have gotten that far that I mean, there definitely are still people that you can count
So,
on to have the legit things. I mean, Skunk VA, Chems, that's one
uh,
person I'm gonna be like, that's the real thing. So there still are
that
those
that
people, but
91, that's the 91. Yeah,
my favorite.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard, and you mentioned, and
That's a
again,
30
sometimes
year
I
old
can play
cut.
devil.
That
Yep.
that's when Uncle Doobie got third place at the Croptoberfest. Chef got
Yeah, I
third
like this
place. I got
certified
two
old
third
guy.
places. Yeah,
Old
yeah.
guys
It's
rule.
30-year-old
Hell
cut.
yeah.
Still representing, and that's a good segue back to why we need to not always just buy into the latest hype, because some of the best medicine you want to go back, like before
You just
the
touched on
cluster.
everything I wanted to say. Yeah, you mentioned T-Movar earlier, and I think that's a great way to describe strains. And the reason why I think, in particular, like lineage is important for people to know is if you have and I've done this myself. If I get a great medicinal effect from a particular strain, I'm interested in the chemotype. Again, chemovar, chemotype. Chemotype consists of the cannabinoids, the terpenes, the thiols, all those things that make up the chemical profile of it. But I'm also interested in the parents because maybe it's the contribution of one parent that's really doing it for me. And if I go direct versus like a hybrid, maybe I'll even have a better effect. So for me personally, as looking at it through the medicinal lens, that's why like lineage is important to know and to be honest with and to just share. So yeah, if that rings a bell for you, because you've
you
touched
you
on
you know you beat me to it, because that's basically the next thing I was going to say, that you need to know, because you like, okay, is it AJ's or is it skunk VA's that's the one that does it for me? Okay, and
it.
now you're seeking that out rather than just anything that fits the name. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
you
I
want to know
wish.
because your nose knows and you knows you knows.
I mean, the body knows, but you have to grow it, try it by that point. You've already bought the seeds or you've already bought the clone. I would love it if we do actually get to a point one day where there is. I mean, it's nice now. It'd be great if we had a directory of like, yeah, they're official for certain different cuts, and there's only going to be a handful of people because again, everybody has the truth and everybody has the cut, but they all had to source it from that one person. It's like bring it back to that one person. So I'd love to see like a little directory like that, but I'd also love to see the full genomic sequencing happen because we're really gonna find out. You mentioned the headbands. There's numerous different headbands, and there's slight subtleties. But is that like not ecotype, but oh my God, epigenics, the environment that it's growing in that's letting off the subtle changes or the change in
Mm-hmm.
the cannabinoid profile. But I'd love to see that because that's going to answer so many questions when it comes down to like what really is what, and that actually helps the patient in the end. So I don't know. How do you see it ending? The debate.
It because you just brought up something that kind of you're totally right, but I also look at it as like all of those epigenetics can factor into some cut that's being held for a long time looking a little different than you remember it,
Yeah.
but also the style of grow has a lot to do. There's so many other factors, that the plant
True.
expressing itself depends on. And the I think the tastiest stuff is grown in the most diverse, like living soil, like outdoors in the sun, right? That's like what we should be, striving for. But at least the some of the best tastiest, even Steve Cantwell. Okay, I'm gonna change hats now. Tad, don't get mad.
I'm gonna change hats too. I don't want to be left out.
This is my
What do we
Soil
got
Life
though?
Summit.
We're gonna.
Steve
I wanna.
Cantwell, the champ for
Nice.
the plant, the patient, and the planet. Got to
And
dab
that was
your
a cool.
grape
That was a
juice,
cool gathering. Yeah, dude,
but
that was cool to see the
he's
videos. I tried to get them uploaded, but I couldn't figure out the format
he
here.
just
But yeah,
he just harvested his 37th run in the same living soil. Like, so he's been amending this soil for 37 runs. So he's kind of proven this can be done to scale. This can be done, and to you know, uh, he even says my competitors are not. I don't worry about my competitors are the home growers and the you know
people who
all
can
the
put
other,
love
yeah,
into it and care into it.
not
Yeah,
not the Nevada whatever. So like, but he's putting out such amazing product, and it's because, well, he's very passionate as well. So he's always exploring new things.
yep.
I had love and respect for him. I got to go around, with Elaine Ingham. It was amazing, and yeah, it was a really good time, and we definitely chopped it up a lot. And definitely, there was even some times I was talking about light, and he's like, I was like, wait, this is what we're here for. We're spreading the love and all the knowledge, right? Elevate the craft. He's like, yeah, okay, well, like next year or something.
Next year.
No,
That's awesome.
I'm just saying, he was just kind of like, because
Oh yeah,
these guys were a sponsor. Here, I'm changed my hat again. Green Bodie uses. Oh, look, it goes with my. See, it
nice.
matches my shirt.
You do. You're straight balling there.
There we
Woo-hoo. I
go.
like that. It's a good look. It's a good look.
Yo, if you see this, we're gonna get these lights. We're gonna test them for you. Me and the chef and Sticky Richie. We're
The
definitely.
Eastie boy.
I'm gonna show him. Well, I talked to him about the way I grow with like Wolf Siegel's kind of method by using like all CMH LED and the solar cure bulbs,
Okay.
which they do
Okay.
make UV LEDs. They just don't last very long, and they make them in bars that don't necessarily have the same intensity as these big tubes. But I'm just using them. I've been seeing success with it, and that's why the grape juice. I was like, no, I definitely didn't do it earlier because I did Le Mans, and I'm using UV, and that like honestly takes up to 6-7 days off pretty much every run. And what you're used to seeing with the cultivar, definitely that jump start into flower, setting it into far red, phytochrome far red, that really keeps it from having to build up. It just slams into flowering.
So
And
that's different. That's
I don't,
different. I'm sorry to interrupt you, though, but I've got so many questions right now. Because we're talking UV, and then you jump to phytochrome red, and which I'm assuming is kind of like a deep red, almost looking for an
well,
Emerson effect. But so UV, you're
well,
using UV.
that's what,
You're cutting days
yeah, no,
off.
I'm
But
just
how
saying
often
those
do you
two
run it?
techniques, that only for 2 hours every day, because it's pretty
Okay.
strong.
At the
You'll have to
beginning
play
or
around
the
with
end,
the.
or do you space it?
Typically, you do it in flowering, but I use them throughout the whole grow because it does seem to help with other pathogens.
Okay.
The first time I ever had PM, and it wasn't from your plant. I remember you were like, "Oh, I hope I." was like, "No, no, no, just whatever circumstances, whatever." Uh, it's environment, pretty much. It's all in it. It's not like it's not there. Just got to keep your health, silica up there and the calcium in the plant healthy. But for whatever reason, um, what was it? Oh, the grape juice definitely wasn't during that time. I dealt with the problem, made me a better grower. We need to also talk
You're
about our
using UV
failures,
though.
but
Oh yeah.
but the UVs bulbs. Oh, thank you. Get me back on track. I need another dab. No, it's the Westport Grape Juice, dude. The juice made me do
Yeah.
it. But
I'm fucking up my own interview. I'm getting them too high. No, that's on you though. That's your artistry, man. You grew it and you processed it. So that one's on you. Yeah, it's
well,
good stuff. I'm sorry though, but yeah, the
but
the the UV because people have been
it
talking
does
about
help
that.
the finishing, and it does help color as well, and it also helps. Like that's why LED lights are so good. They're so powerful sometimes, but they're not necessarily the right. Well, there's many different companies doing it right too. So um, I run some HLG now. I can't wait to run these the other companies stuff here. It's going to be pretty cool because they're tuning. It's all about tuning the light. That's a whole nother thing
Hmm.
to really. That's a whole nother rabbit hole to explore to do like indoor. But honestly, we really need to be using the sun here. Like this is like that's where the real medicine comes from, and but having to grow inside's kind of made you study about how to do it efficiently, but also with the best results. And ultimately, it's the light, and then good amount of organic matter and microbes and fungi and all kinds of good stuff in the
Do
living soil.
you do you
That's why
do
I want to
any kind
convert
of
to
like
beds, but that the beds is the way to go. And then like a blue
what
mat soaker.
what would be the
And
smallest bed would build? Like, what is the smallest bed that's worth your time? Is it a 4x4, a 3x3, or are you thinking like 4x6 even?
I mean, I think what Tad's running 4x4s. I think that's a good
Mhm.
size because I mean, um, but I would like a 4x8. Like those would what I would
Yeah.
like in 4x8s.
Proper.
Um, yeah, and then on some sliders that so you could kind of maximize
Mhm.
the whatever. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, but that would be like because Steve Cantwell, they kind of him and it was probably another guy. I wish I could give credit to, but it's not just there. But whatever he was in part of getting those bottomless pots going, and where they just kind of put them in these fabric pots that have no bottoms off a capillary mat, and then they go right into the living soil bed. And but he also they make the living soil. Shout out to Grassroots Fabric Pots. They make
Mhm.
the liner. Um, they're the like, and Steve Cantwell, was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I don't. He didn't. They didn't have them at the time, and he put like the shrink wrap around all of his
Yeah, I
beds.
remember those days.
So
Yep.
so he made the bottom the air pruning with the aeration and air pruning, but then it kept it much more wet for the biology and less water, less better water consumption. Um, yeah, it's
Because with
crazy. I mean,
without that liner, the outsides of the pots would kind of, or the soil would kind of dry out. The core would still stay a little bit wetter, but it would just dry out prematurely on the edge of the pots. And so that's kind of why people moved away from it. But that liner really solved the problem because it retains the moisture. It's almost like a plastic pot, except for the bottom, but it's just, I'm sure there's still plastic in there, but different type of material.
a lot of people don't want to give up their nursery plastic pots because of that reason, because it's more frequent watering without, the air pruning takes a lot more water and a lot more
Yeah.
labor. And like with the nursery pot, you can probably go 3 days in between watering, not like every other day or something. Just to keep the same saturation. But that's why the blue mat or some other type of soaker or keeping the soil moist without you having to hand water. But Steve Cantwell still was hand watering. They talked to him like um, what's his name? Well, anyway, Michael Box from Sustainable Village and this
Sure.
other guy, Izzy. He was also at the Organic Cultivators conference. We met him and got to chop it up with him. But they know how to set up the blue mat systems with the soaker hose on these big beds, and it kind of that's kind of the way a lot of these bigger places using it, like living soil beds. There's many people doing it that way, and they're the ones that are getting the best quality. Honestly, I think that's like the most organoleptic, the best bag appeal, the nicest, tastiest nugs.
It takes more time and labor as far as hands-on, which comes through in the final product. But the automation, at least from like some of the watering and those little things, can take or can reduce your time and your workload. So it's almost kind of a give and take. You can still maybe be in there, see and touch the plants every day, but you don't have to stand there for 45 seconds to water this section of the bed. You can kind of just get your little quick analytical view. Because a lot of companies, even in the big ones, when it's fully automated, they don't necessarily walk the aisles every day. They're not in there tucking things back into the scrog net. So yeah, I detect a hat change. Did we go back to the?
Shout out to organic Brian, Vital Garden Supply, plant loving organics.
Very nice.
Man, organic
Very
Brian.
nice.
He had some nice rosin, and he was like, "You know what this is?" And I was like, "Oh shit, that smells like the Northern Lights 5x2 Northern Lights haze." And he's like, "Oh, it was a haze though." And I was just like, "Wow." He's like, "You know how long it?" He showed me some amazing rosin that you wouldn't. That's not worth the percentages to run, but he had this beautiful, and I was distinctly, like number 5 or whatever haze, And I was like, he's like, oh, you know, and then I showed him the magazine, the skunk magazine, and my write up, and then he's like, oh wait, here's my write up. I did this write up on what's his name? Jesus, I just had
I've
I
got
was
the
just thinking about
magazine in
it,
the other room. That's awesome. Well, you know, maybe tell
but
people too about.
anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going off on that, but basically,
No.
Shiloh Massive was his. Um, he's a dude a little bit younger than me, but almost my age. But he was like, oh, you know, Shiloh used to be my forklift driver, you know. So shout out to
Loaded
Organic
pallet.
Brian, and you know they know what's up. This is the way to grow organic.
Yeah, people have been around, man. A lot of the older heads are doing that. Let's we
I'm
mentioned
sorry,
them
I'm beyond.
earlier. No, we mentioned them earlier here, but Skunk VA. I want to go ahead and do another giveaway. Um, Coincidentally, it is called Twin Peaks. And we mentioned earlier that I love the Chem 91, and that is something that is in here. So the Twin Peaks
Nice.
was a pack that I was given, um, and I wanted to do a seed increase because, again, here we go. We're going to go into the lineage. It is a Chem 91 BX2 times Chem Cis. Now, it's from Lucky Dog Seed Co., which is going to be a company, and he has since come out with a V2 of this. They did a BX3 of the Chem 91 that he was happy with. So if you want to try the newer stuff, that's definitely available over at Lucky Dog Seed Co. But this was a seed increase I did because I wanted to make more seeds so I could go through it and look for something that's more Chem 91 leaning. I haven't really necessarily had the time, so that's why I wanted to give them out to people. Grow them. Everybody who doesn't love freaking chem, a chem. What's your favorite chem, John? Do you have a favorite? What's your favorite child?
I don't know. I like the Chem D. I mean, just for like rosin. Um,
Good.
but like I don't know them as well as like Uncle Doobie would or other people. Like I'm
Yeah.
not on the, but the Chem 91 is awesome. He, you know, um, I know the Chem 4, the Chem Cis. I don't think I'm pretty sure Doobie has that, but I don't know all the nuances, so I'm not really one that knows.
Yeah.
But I definitely like the Chem D. I definitely love the the 91. Um, yeah, I mean, what's the
It's,
four? The four. I have some seeds that I wanted to pop. The reason I bought them was because it was called number 4, hash plant number 4 from Bodhi Seeds, and it is Chem 4 to 88G13 hash plant. Like
ooh, okay.
that's what I have in my Hollyweed keeper that Kevin said to grow like 5 years ago or whatever, 2018 or something. Maybe it was
Wow.
longer than that, 18 or 19.
All right.
I still have
If you
another.
guys,
I have another pack of that, but like Bodie, not no. Hey, shout out to Green Bodie, and I love him too. John, he's good. It's cool seeing him out there too. But you know, like I've been just listening to all these people for so long, and it's like, man, and certainly I always have my ear to the, you know, whenever Kevin's talking. He's such a amazing, amazing, full of knowledge and a really good dude. You know, I mean, really about the plant, about promoting, you know, and that's kind of what I want to do. Just kind of, you know, advance the plant and the culture, and you know, pay homage to all those that you know, to give you know, give them their flowers. No pun intended, but you know, seriously, like let them, you know, all the work that they did, all the sacrifices. I mean, you know, you had get to interview Eddie Lepp, you got to interview like all these people, you know, that helped to
all right.
deal with like Green Merchant, and you know,
Yeah.
and it's
The,
like those are like, and then there's all these other people that come from that same time, and then there's unfortunately some people that are still in jail, right? Like we can't forget that, you know. So kind of it's like, hey, at least give them their props, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Shout out.
it's kind of like,
Just want to shout out real quick. THC Garage, he's growing some of the Twin Peaks that I sent. And then the Chad, The Chad was Westport Grape Juice times that Twin Peaks as well, and that's something that I've just gave out. That's not anything that was ever available for people. That was just a giveaway. Again, I like to give away stuff and get people growing. Um, but yeah, there are, you mentioned there are still people in
I
jail, and
should say that double OG Chem from Dan up at Rebel Dan and
okay,
Owen, Owen Good People Gardens, they have this double OG Chem 15 that's been winning out west and Breeders' Cups and whatnot. And so that's Dan's work, but that's like two OGs to a Chem, thus the name.
I'll have to look at
And
that. I tried
I
the
can't line it
OG.
up, but they're number 15, the Doc, they call it Doc 15 double OG Chem, and the 17. There's two cuts out there that the winner. Well, I think it's the 15 that's the one. But they've been doing a bunch of breeding, and they're going to be. I'm pretty sure he's got seeds of that kind of stuff available too. But I just know. I think was it Tyson's. I think it was Tyson's that grew it. That was just like, oh, this is awesome. And but
Mike
it
Tyson,
was
no.
something that Owen, a cut that Owen or seeds that Owen had given us or given him for that, because that was is that the 15? No, I don't think it was. I have seeds. I have like a F. I have the something to the F4 Doc 15 seeds. I actually have a male outside. I popped some seeds and I only got one, and it was a male. So I didn't. I only had a few, but anyway, I'm going off and babbling. I'm sorry.
No worries. The Bolt Cook's awesome. Send me that. That would be awesome. And speaking of the Dabo here, Fresh Baked. This is how the Twin Peaks came to me.
I'm
Um,
overbaked.
you're overbaked. This is Fresh Baked. Fresh Baked, welcome to the show. So he's not caught up yet. He's not overbaked. But that's cool. Yeah, dude. Thank you, because that pack came to me through his generosity. I made a bunch of seeds, and I'm trying to give those out to people. So yeah, I think that pack that you gave made a lot of people happy. So good on you, man, and good on everybody else who does that
Nice.
too. I always try to encourage that. I know like Cav Snake Oil, Cav Bar Jones. He's someone who I've given some seeds to, and he made some crosses with it. And all I said was just please make sure you give them out to some people. And he's definitely doing that because I see a lot of people growing them now. So that's awesome. You got John Rice in here again, another freaking awesome tester for me. Uh, he's always ahead of the game. Him and Chippy P are usually growing stuff out for everybody else. But I need to again. I just ordered some shirts for you, John. So I want to send you and Chef some shirts. I want to send everybody some of those S1s. I want to send a whole bunch of S1s to Uncle Doobie so he can go through it, see what he likes, see what he
Yeah.
doesn't. And I'll also send you out some of those no joke testers if you have the space, or you can wait
We're
until it's done testing and everything is checked off. But I'm stoked with it so far. I'm smoking it right now, actually. Um, yeah, yeah. And as far as like Richie, Sticky Richie, so I always call you guys, the Eastie Boys. This is just something I made
I
up.
don't
Just the three of you. You're from
know.
the East Coast, but people have met Sticky Richie here because he was on one of the breeder profiles. And now people are getting to meet you, Chef Alex. I need to get him on here because I need to meet him.
Absolutely.
We've done a handful of shows together on the Future Cannabis Project channel, but individually, kind of introducing you to people here, and yeah. So
Well,
the three
I
of
had
you,
mentioned him.
the
I
Eastie
felt
Boys.
funny not having those guys on with me, but
I know. I thought
all
about it
good.
too. I'm like, it's gonna be weird just being one on one with John, but I think it. Yeah, I mean, shoot, we easily could have the conversation, and at the same time, I'd love to give like Alex full attention as well, because there's so many things I can learn from him, and so many questions I have as well. So I'm like, yeah, we'll just roll with it. We'll have one on one time. Should I light a candle?
I think there's some stuff on Daga's site also. Shout out to Daga Garden. Um, I think they have. I don't know. I think they have some gummies on there.
Oh
I'll check
shit!
them out.
All right, definitely. All right, let's give away this the Twin Peaks seed increase that I did the other year. Good luck, everybody. It's U.S. only. I will hit the draw button. If you are selected, just hit me up on the DMs and I will get them mailed out to you. And we will still have one more. See, that's how karma works. Fresh baked. I hope to
Abracadabra.
God.
Make it
And
make it happen.
I know. You know
Speak
what?
it into existence.
I hope, I sincerely hope I sent you a whole bunch from the seed increase already. I really hope I did. I should have. That's the nice thing to do. So I have more if you want them, but I will also send you the Westport Posse. I will send you the no jokes. So just hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me. Congratulations. That's freaking awesome. But yeah, go ahead and hit me up and I'll send you whatever I got, whatever you want. We'll make that happen, dude. That's hilarious. Okay, yes, you have a bunch. That's cool. Good. I'm glad I did send you some because
That's
that's
awesome.
kind of a common courtesy. It's like, hey, I made a bunch of seeds with your stuff. I'm gonna send you some seeds. Cool.
Yeah,
Works
yeah.
out. Yeah. All right. All right.
That
One
that's
more.
that's part of paying homage too. You can make seeds as long as you're like as long as you aren't specifically told not to do something with them, then that's not cool. That's like, but if you're already and so if you're going to give someone something, like if you buy the seeds, you can do whatever you want. Like I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
the whatever collab
Right. And see, this
because
is
you paid for them, like there's
no.
but if that's just getting back to paying homage to the person who did the work and not just taking something and renaming it or being like, oh, I got this, it's like it kind of diminishes. We want to see everybody uplifted. We want to come, we want to see people, the passion bringing us to different levels and not bringing us down to lower vibrational stuff. So it's like I really feel like we need to give homage.
It is, and that's another reason why I kind of wanted to have the conversation too about that stuff tonight because I've had people already make crosses and selves of my testers before I've even decided to release them. And it's not
Yeah.
because I just don't think people understand or know. Like I don't know. It's you're free to do whatever you want with them. Testers is kind of different because it's a tester. It's not like put my stamp of approval on it yet. I still want to get feedback. But like you said, once you pay money for something, it's yours, man. Do whatever you want with it.
and
But
and
do try
just
to give
like
credit.
think carefully about what like you were so gracious to give me the actual breeder cut and but like if you want to give somebody something, if you don't want them to do that or if you want to just make sure that doesn't happen so you can be like, I guess I should start with some of this work takes 5 years to do. And it's a lot of work for someone to put in to stabilize or do what they're trying to do,
Oh yeah.
just to give it to somebody to take it to the next step. Like, and now they're ahead of you, right? So my advice is to people that are breeders or don't want to be, they have to be very trusting of who it is. And if
Yes.
if they want to insure it, then only get like, I guess, like Mean Gene says, only give them your second best, right? Like, give them don't give them, give them the not, don't give them the latest stuff. Stay 1 year ahead, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, give them the stuff you got your latest from, because
Yeah.
you're just giving them the work to continue, and that's why, I mean, there's, pros and cons of feminized seeds, but it's almost like that's the way to ensure that nobody takes your work and and
No, I
just
mean
makes an increase.
nothing.
But
Yeah,
if you pay for it,
nothing's immune. I mean, a fem seed, you can hit it with another male, and then all of a sudden you have a kind of cross. You can get back to it. You can self it. Like once it's out there, it's out there. But real quick, this is my comment. I love this one. It's like, dang, I wanted those seeds. I guess I'll just go back to smoking banana peels. Anarchist cookbook. I remember those days. Yes, I have smoked banana peels. Tried drying them in a microwave. Not the most effective way, but I didn't give up after just once. I love that comment. And two, I was just talking about your cat snake oil. I was saying, that with the Twin Peaks seed increase, I was able to give away a lot of seeds. And when people like yourself, I reference you, have made seeds with the stuff. All I ask is that you give them away, and then you're doing a great job of them because I see a lot of people growing them out there. So I don't know if you were here for that, but I just wanted to reiterate that because I do appreciate that.
I definitely agree with what he just said too about the medicine should be free and giving out the seeds. Once you start to be around people that are really about this plant, you stuff's going to be generosity, gates open. It's like, honestly, I spent so much money. I have all these seeds. I don't even know what to pop anymore because they don't really interest me because now I'm more personally connected with a lot of people that have done the work or, really, and it's just as good, if not better. It's like, it's almost like it did become just like a seed collection because it's like I'm I'm not going into the vault. I'm kind of always getting and turning down cuts now and this and that because I'm just trying to stay, like I'll eventually I do here and there, but I like to try and grow from seed and do my own kind of, it's a very small scale, but so it's not like I'm really hunting anything, but sometimes it
I
only
wish
takes one pack, right?
it does, and I wish I had a warehouse. But here's how I kind of look at that equation too, because again, both of us wish we had a warehouse. I'm pretty sure both of us wish we could run 1,000 to do a proper pheno hunt. But at the scale that we're at, with the medicinal abilities that we have, we can't do that. But here's what I kind of think is a saving grace, and it only comes with time and experience. We've smoked more than 1,000 different plants, so it could be one, it could be 1,000 plants, it could be five. When that one crosses our lips and hits our receptors, we take note. And the Westport grape juice, you were talking about the smell, just like even defoliating in veg, that stem rub. That is what struck me immediately about the plant. I'm like, this one's special. And I'm not that for me now to find a keeper, you need to be close to that smell or that level of smell in veg. So I don't know. It's weird.
Well,
It's like a smoky campfire
people,
smell. It doesn't really translate to the finish smell. So,
you can't. So this is when the real people, well, the real, I'm saying the people that are passionate or the people that are been growing for a long time, they have big stables. They got a lot of plants, right? So you can't have like there's things you have to let go. But that being
I know.
said, that being said, the things that are kept are those A plants, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The you know what I mean? So
Go through hell to keep that plant
it's an
alive,
elite collection. It's not
basically.
like anything that's bad there. It's like anything there, everybody would be happy to, you know, and maybe that one not so much. So sorry, you got to go because I just found this one.
Yeah,
Like, you
that's
know what I mean? It kind of becomes or it gets given to someone else. Be like, look, I'm gonna let it go, but here, you do whatever. Maybe if
yeah.
I want it back. So that's the whole wonderful thing about the community and what he said about the medicine should be free, because that's what I'm experiencing, the love and joy of all the passionate growers that giving me stuff, and I want to grow, to pay homage for their work and, appreciate what they're doing, and they're really cool and, about the plant. So it's kind of like I can't get around to all of it, but now it's just kind of like I'm like, it's just awesome to have, before it was like, oh, when's the next, place to go get, what's the next event, or where's the next,
It's,
convention,
it's,
where's the next people with the seed, companies, and or where's James Bean at the, because I got some of my seeds from him, and then years ago also before, before I even knew who he was. And it's funny, but
it's hard to yeah, narrow down what you want to grow next when there's so many winners and so many potentials. It's something I'm struggling with. I've tried to narrow things down, and I have just two. But I think out of that last run of 10 different things, I found one that I'm gonna keep just because it has a profile I'm not used to. Um, so yeah, it's
and
filling up again already, and I have things lined up that I want to be trying. And some of those actually are Chef fucking Alex's autos, man. I want to try. I think it's Thor's hammer. Ah,
Man, he's been putting in
yeah.
some impressive work on that. That's even I
We,
think Ryan up at High Striker ran some of his, and he's doing his
mhm.
own too. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. There's so many amazing work out there now. It's not like you
Good
shouldn't
problem
have
to
to
have.
go pay $400 for a pack, like, when it's like, oh no, what is that? Or, "Oh, but it comes in this cool box," or, this or that. And sometimes it's like, bro, my homie's got gear that he just gifted me that's just as good, if not better than any of that. Like, so I appreciate the comment because that's what being part of the community is about too. Like, once people got it, they get and then that's how you get recognition, like, but kind of gets back to, if you don't want to give it out, then keep it, give it a
Yeah.
second best thing. Then you're
You have
never
to
mad or doesn't cause any problems. But when you release it, then you know,
you
unless it's a,
have to know. You have to
unless someone
understand. You
says,
can't
yeah,
get mad whether it's right or wrong. It's once you put it out there, it's out there. It's like once you put something on the internet, once you put a song out there, the song's just out there. It's like it sucks. I don't agree with it, but it's just kind of what it is. There will always be that person or that group of people that does whatever the F they want. So sucks, but we can avoid that in masses. Um, Tissue culture though, because that's something that you love to play around. You always like cutting edge stuff, and this is something
no,
that's
I
really been
wanted to
catching my
do,
eye.
yeah, there was
This
like
might be the solution to keeping stuff
Canachromic
though.
laboratories, or there were some other places that were doing courses on it. And I mean, I was even going to do like the sexing. There's a bunch of people that have their own little like laminar hoods, and they already know how to do their own plant sexing. And so those are valuable skills to have, and certainly going to help cut down on resources and cost for, maintaining a bigger, unless you're doing breeding projects. But if you're just looking for females to run, it's definitely cost effective to not use the light, the space, or, the soil, the media, or whatever way you're growing.
If I could kind of keep some of those almost like not necessarily suspended in animation, but something that's going to take like 4 to 6 months before it's like ready to grow again. See, I'd be scared as hell. I'd have everything like quadruple million backed up because I'm that paranoid guy. But I'd love to do that. Like being able to like take the keepers that I have now and just kind of put them on the shelf without having to actually get rid of them. It's like I'll still always have them, but they're not in the limited footprint I have, which will allow me to do other things. And to be able to do it at home is getting
No, I
more and more
mean,
accessible. Like it's, but again, I can't take just one clone of anything either. I always have to do three because what if? And then I wind up growing freaking three plants instead of the one I should have. So that's just my problem.
yeah, it's about redundancy. And that's skunk, getting
Yeah.
back to, that's like a callback to Skunk VA. He even said that in one of his later, one of his interviews I was listening to. And it's true. Like, that's how I've kept my 818 for the last 8 years. It's like, that's how I'm been keeping yours. That's why I have like 6 in flower right now, um, of the grape juice that'll be ready to run in like probably another 10, 14 days.
Dude, tell
Yeah,
us
yeah.
tell us about your gem though, your baby, your little sweetheart that was
Well,
in Skunk magazine. Because that's a
that
special one.
those
You've won
that
awards with this one.
well, but it's actually Swerve's work. We talked to Russ, uh, yeah, Shaw Bud,
Okay.
707 Seed Bank, and he didn't have a great result with Swerve's gear. I just know I got mine in Oakland at the Harborside Health, you know, and that's what these are, and had great success. But I know that there is controversy over, um, some of his later work, or I don't know. I think,
As far as
um,
being like renames
I
and
don't.
not
Yeah, no, no.
getting out of
Well,
what like
yeah, no. I mean, I just know that my pack was legit from Harborside. Um, but a friend and I had the Tahoe OG as well, but I let that go. It wasn't my favorite. I do have seeds of it, but because it had a really bad intersexing. It was almost like every the third week you could just see, even if it was cleared out. But so I let that go. But this 818 headband has been my best medicine, and I was fortunate to get it in Skunk Magazine. Did my own breakdown of it, and it does turn out to be, the constituent the amount of cannabinoids is like 8 or 9 depending. But this latest lab work was a little different from a different lab, so I don't know what that means because I'm not comparing apples to apples. But that being said, I think we can steer certainly different cannabinoids or bigger, wider array of cannabinoids with different microbes, certainly,
Okay.
and other inputs, certainly the calcium and sulfur. Well, magnesium sulfate, the sulfur and the calcium, and a lot of these compounds. Like our friend Tim could go off. I don't want to butcher it, but it's certainly ways to make or steer. Well, it's all about the biology too. Really, it's all like
Soil biology, yeah.
I mean, because endophytes. I got to interview Dr. James White. I was so proud to be able to talk to
That's
him and
the
ask him
authority on
questions.
that. Yeah, that's the
And
authority on it. So that's awesome.
and I'd seen his presentation 3 times, and finally I met him twice, and then he
Wow.
agreed to be on with Chef Me and with Tim and Sticky Richie. But it was a great interview, and it really is about the plant. They're finding endophytes in the leaf surface. They're finding protozoa and algae. So the plant, it's being taken up by this rhizophagy cycle, by the root tips. It's brought into the plant. It's making it all the way through the phloem or velum of the plant into the leaves. And
The vascular system.
yeah, and therefore in the seed, if you're creating seed, then it's like got all these. And the amazing thing about the rhizophagy, other than the superoxide and all the stuff and the interactions, and but basically it's in the seed, so it only takes up the best microbes. The plant won't just take up any microbe, and then there's even cases where taking something in actually decodes it, or see, now I'm butchering it, but basically make something that would normally be a pathogen and shut it off, basically, and make it not a problem. Yeah, no, well, I mean, just by this association,
With the
it can, yeah.
this was where I kind of learned about it first, and this is
Jeff
this is
Lowenfeld, yeah.
Lowenfeld's book, but it's all based on Dr. James White's work.
Oh, that's the new
Research.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the new one of the Teaming with series. This is the book four, but the guide to endophytic bacteria and the rhizophagy cycle. So this is where I kind of like entered the conversation. So if people are curious about like what is this stuff he's talking about, because it's cool and it's good, it's a huge part. Again, these are the little things that we don't know that we're just discovering. Like there's more than terpenes. So this, if you guys are curious, great place to start with what.
Yeah, just to put it into perspective, it's really only 2008 when the Australians got credit for it, but meanwhile, Dr. White and his team have been working on it. He's been dealing, for 40 years. He's been in. This is his, but this is, they got the credit. They're all working on it at the same time, but Australia is known for this paper from 2008. So that's kind of like we've only really proven it since 2008. So it's a pretty new thing, because I don't care what camp you're in. We all need to grow this medicine, right? So I'm not trying to say KNF is not the best, or Jadam or organics, or no, I'm all into bottles. It's like, grow how you're going to grow your own medicine. Just know that's what you put in your body. You're good with that, it's good. But
You're okay putting this
you
shit in your
know,
body? Then fine, fuck you.
no, I mean, grow your own medicine because you know what's in
Yeah,
it, really, you
yeah,
know.
I agree. I agree.
So,
Food
but
too.
you know, if it's the other side of you. But if you're okay with that, then. But anyway, right, there's certain ways to ethically grow and make it like a healthy medicine. Certainly, even with salts, I'm not trying to deny that, but I'm on to a different method. Always doing it, starting from there. You know, like I'm so glad to see you wanting to try. I mean, and I don't, it's
Coming
I'd like to
over.
flip that question on you and see, do you see any difference in the organoleptics, the expression, or the overall effect or enjoyability of the end product,
You know,
like compared
it's
to?
it's yeah, it's something that I have a hard time like quantifying. I know I had to like stroke the beard on that one because I'm like, yes, but how do I put it into words? It's almost like you can eat like a chicken breast from like Jack in the Box, or you can eat like a chicken breast from a nice restaurant. They're both like chicken breasts, but one of them just leaves your body feeling like better, not like weighted down or heavier, more like complete, more whole. That's almost kind of how I would explain my experience transitioning to like the organic world. It's like it just for some reason it just feels a little bit better. I don't have any data to quantify it. That's my issue, but there is a lot for, the human computer because I would actually trust my own human computer over a regular computer any day.
Yeah, no, the chicken analogy is not a good one because I just saw some like IG post about some guy shooting someone at the. I mean, obviously, he was
Oh
talking
no.
about all the chemicals that are in a Chick-fil-A or whatever, and the
Yeah,
guy came in
I've
and they
never
were
had
out. They were out of it, and the guy shot somebody because they were out of Chick-fil-A, and it's like it's got to be full of it's chicken crack, and it's like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know,
Okay.
but the government has just passed. We can make our own chicken in a vat, with cells that they want to actually grow our
That's why they
chicken.
can't call it Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore. Technically, if it doesn't have a
Oh
beak or
man.
feet, it's not a chicken. But I totally picked a bad analogy there. But what what I'm trying to say though,
I'm
you can tell
sorry, I had to
fruit,
take it
man.
there. But
Hydroponic fruit, hydroponic strawberry, hydroponic strawberry versus. Well, I guess we're comparing fucking synthetic to organic, and I lose at the analogy game today. How about that?
in the long run, I think the best, even the people who are still using synthetics use some type of biology or some type of, um, you know, microbial inoculants to really push. You know, I mean, that's kind of extra on the, you know what I mean? Like it's not like biology will happen in Rockville. It will, you know what I mean? You can, and so they're doing kind of this what they call synganics, you
Yep,
know.
yep. I
You
did
know,
that for a
I
while.
might, I might spell it with a SI, but instead of SY, but um,
That is one thing though about
but
growers in
I'm just
particular. We
saying,
tend to get all gang about like growing
we
style,
all
but
need to grow. If you're comfortable with the way you grow and you're happy with your medicine, but always try new things, that's all.
yeah. Okay, so here's an example because I rocked the boat. So I'm using the KIS Organic stuff, and I have been for a while. Dry amendment, it's hippie stuff, so it's good. And I've been really happy with it. But I just went on the vacation. Obviously, I was gone for three
Mhm.
weeks, and I used the AutoPots because uh, house sitter's not the best in plant care. And my plants were fine, but I came back and they're totally hungry. Like I'm like, oh yeah, you guys totally hit that like pedal to the metal while I was gone and flowering. And so I've got some
Oh,
obvious deficiencies. And I was at the store the other day and I bought a bottle of Bloom because I know if I add my dry amendments, it's going to be 2, 3 weeks before it kicks in, and I'm probably going to harvest in 4, maybe 5. So I had to get a bottle. What do you do in that situation? You probably plan better, right?
if it's a bottle, it's probably me buying some Neptune's fish fertilizer or some fish hydrosylate. You know what I mean? or something that has
Okay.
the seaweed in it too, to have it more like a 2, 3, 4 or something, or whatever it is,
I
instead of
did.
like a.
There was Roots Organic as an option, which I've tried them before, and I poo-pooed it. Um, there was BioBiz, but they didn't have like a normal person size because I really just wanted like the little 8-ounce bottle. I'm like, dude, I just need something for like maybe 4 or 5 feedings to get these plants through, and then I don't want it again. But yeah, there was
Well,
just a bunch of
I
big
guess
bottles.
I'm just spoiled because like it's an hour, whatever, hour and a half to the Cape, and it's basically, or no, it's Gloucester maybe. Neptune's is the Gloucester, so it's an hour more north, but coast. No, obviously Gloucester.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
got me, got me. But that's right here, kind of in my backyard, the Neptunes, and it's cold pressed, so it's all good Atlantic fish like that they just squish. So it's cold pressed. It doesn't get high homogen. Yeah, what am I trying to say? Yeah, it doesn't ever get heated. It doesn't ever get heated, so it has all the oils and all the good stuff.
Okay, I like that. That's a good answer too, because that's kind of fast acting, and I see a great one here from Evil024 420 Love. Quick foliar to catch up. Not a bad suggestion. There's foliars that
Yeah,
can probably get me up on something. It doesn't address the issue in the soil, but it at least gets something to the plant quickly.
but how many weeks into flowering were you? Because then I wouldn't recommend
Oh, that's true.
foliar
Actually, yeah,
anything.
no, I wouldn't apply a foliar right now. No, I wouldn't
But that's
spray
a
anything on
great.
them.
That would be a
But
great thing
good.
just before flowering.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would
no,
be.
see, I
That's
didn't
great,
connect that.
and I'm all for foliar spraying, and KNF is great. Even some of the best lettuce and greens growers use a lot of KNF techniques. Shout
I
out to
agree with
Dave's
this
Greens.
statement. Yep, I agree with this statement. John is magic. This is very true. Let's see. So, if anybody has some questions too, please go ahead and get them in. We'll do another giveaway from some Mitch Seeds here in just a couple of minutes. But I still want to
I
talk
like
about
that.
what you got going on. Yeah, me too.
Send me one of
Cool
those with
guy
a
behind
shirt.
these too. Yeah, cool guy, huge supporter of the community. Like I can't, honestly, I
if
can't
if
actually tell
if you
you how
give it
much.
if you give it to me by the Dabadoo by next Friday, if I get it by next Friday, I can wear it and bring them both to the Dabadoo.
Nice.
I
I
can
was
sport
so
the Twin Peaks. Here, I'll just put it here
right.
on the
Just
heart.
no. Okay, I'm gonna get X-rated here. So yeah, we'll try to do that. Let's see, intuitive with Bakashi Earthworks. Yeah, actually, I ran. I wanted to try them. The Bakashi Earthworks. 2 runs ago, I did a run. I got the N humate and the K humate, and then I also got the Agsil from them. Pretty stoked with it. Messy. It's always hard like pouring those bottles when you need like 60 mils of it, and it like 60 mils run down the side, and it's always brown and stained stuff. That's the truth. But I actually, Untrained Astronaut, shout out to Untrained Astronaut. We were both complaining about this very problem, and like I came up with a solution and I thought it'd be brilliant and I would just like nobody would think of it and I'll put like a Twin Peaks logo on it. And he's like, yeah, dude, I just buy these pumps and I put them right down in my nutrient bottle and then I pump out what I need. And I'm like, ah, that was my brilliant idea. He's like, I'll send you some. So shout out to Untrained Astronaut. He sent me some pumps to make it not messy. Because really, when you seriously you're trying to pour 60 milliliters of like nutrients out of the bottle and you spill more than that on the damn ground, it makes me sad. It does. It makes me sad. But yeah,
Going back
see?
in with the
Look at the
check.
brown. Look at the brown. That's all my nutrients. But no, this was good. This was the Smart Carbon, the Inhumates, Mikashi Earthworks, and then
Oh, he
K
was.
Humate.
Yeah, that's Brandon Rust. Shout out to Brandon Rust. He was at the Soil
Yep,
Life Summit. Got to meet him
yep,
too.
yep.
He
So
was doing that work with Dr. Savle. What's his name?
the
The
NASA guy.
Greek your Greek doctor, professor.
He works with a lot of smart people because he is a
Yeah,
smart
yeah.
person. Yeah, I did. I had to just shout that out here. Sorry, I'll take that comment off. I don't know. I got distracted because of the pump. I get emotional sometimes when I'm like, God dang it, I'm spilling this shit again. So
Well,
pump's is the answer. But I use the dry
I don't
the
look
dry
it. I'm
method.
I'm
Back to the
I'm
kiss.
55, so I glitch sometimes, but we're doing remarkably well, and I know it's this plant, amongst other healthier habits that I need to do more of.
Well, yeah. Sometimes we fall out of practice, but you know what? Sometimes life throws us curveballs, and we have to learn. We have to bat it, and then we get back. We get back into the swing of things. So. Let's give away some seeds. Another getting back into the swing of things. Again, every other Saturday, the best grow show. Next Saturday we're gonna be doing the BGC Cup pre-funk. Dude is gonna be stopping by. I think Scotty's gonna pipe in from Costa Rica. I think we got Grambo. I'm gonna try to get Banner in there. We're gonna try to have a DGC pre-funk for the cup that's coming up on June 1st,
I was
which I'm
gonna
gonna be.
say, when you went away, did you use the hempy bucket? But no, you used the AutoPot. You didn't do the hempy
No,
bucket.
nope. I'm not using his real buckets.
No, you know
Um.
what I'm talking about, though.
Oh
The
yeah.
hempy
Yeah.
bucket.
Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Yeah. The heavy buckets. Yeah.
Are you
Um.
using the grow dots? Are you Are you all organic? Or are you putting the grow dots in KIS Organic soil now?
No, but I was going to use the grow dots. I was going to use the grow
No,
dots with
I'd love to
Alex's
try it.
autos. With Alex's, well, yeah, I want to try it because there's another. Because previously I had done things with water only soils because I want to find the easiest way that somebody with like limited mobility, limited time, illness. I want those people to be able to grow. So I always kind of look for the easiest way that's effective that I would be like proud to have said I grew in it. So yes, that's a long
Yeah,
way of saying I am trying
it,
to grow dots because I have another kind of like water only solution here that I just want to test because I'm not going to say things are good until I actually test them and run them like that Bokashi earthwork strip. Nobody's really heard me talk about it until I've actually used them, and I'm stoked. I'd buy it again if I wasn't like stoked and using the KISS stuff. But I wanted to try that because I like Brandon's stuff.
I definitely connect with you saying about getting other growers to make it easy for them to want to even grow. Like, I got this. I can grow my own medicine. I do love products like that. Even I think Ted Hussey had a product that was like a prilled, like time release, like almost like an Osmocote, but different, more, environmentally friendly. It's not
Right.
organic, but he did take a big hit offering it on his thing because he's all organic. But it was still, he kind of took it on as like, well, this is an alternative instead of having the bottle with all the liquid in it and something that can be in the fertilizer kind of mixed homogeneously into the mix, and then all you're doing is the water. Then you do get all of these novice or people that were like, yeah, I want to grow my own cannabis, I want to grow my own medicine, or you know what I mean. And then you know then they're going to be growing the best medicine because they're going to connect with the plant. There's going to be other things, but then they're going to be hooked, and then they're going to be growing vegetables.
That that's the thing too that I see a lot of people, and again, why I'm like, just start growing, just do it. Um, is once you get it down, once you find the joy and the love in it, you're gonna want to expand. You're gonna want to try a different technique, maybe something new, different. You'll find different results. Um, but if somebody has a bad first run, it's a pain in their butt. They think it's just better to go to the store if there is a store. That's what I want to avoid. So yeah, thank you for being open to that. But we all know where hopefully the road ends.
Well, I mean, like you were saying, there's many camps. I'm definitely, like there's the soil, food web with Elaine Ingham. There's like kind of a different with the soil layer system, like the horizontal method that Morrison, Leighton and Morrison, And then there's like the KNF, and then there's the Jadam. Then there's
Yeah.
like, but honestly, I kind of mix and match and take, like my growing style is kind of studying kind of all of them, not necessarily in depth or favoring one of other, because in certain cases I'm like, well, wait a second, I'm trying to be more economical and it works, but like I do have to put 50% sugar, and that's not necessarily a sustainable or like how I mean, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, so it's kind of like sometimes I will do it, but I'll kind of mix and match. And, but I'm all for making your own compost, your own, you know, it's amazing. Uh, sometimes it's a pain, but it's worth it in the end,
It
you
is.
know?
And then setup. I got accused of asking a loaded question the other day to someone who does a bunch of ferments, does a bunch of composts. And I totally didn't mean to be, but it's just a question I ask every single person who does this. And the answer is usually in their favor. But anyways, I was like, so on average, how much do you spend per day? Because some people will be like, well, I spend 30 minutes turning my compost pile and then another hour doing this. But it doesn't have to be that way. And his answer was like, I can't even answer that because I spend like 5 hours one weekend twice a year on it. So I don't even think about it in time per day. But that does hold some people back. Uh, yeah, gotta turn my worm
Well,
bin, gotta do this.
yeah, it's a commitment. Like I don't. That's why I'm so you know a lot of my heroes are like Sticky Richie, who's like a homesteader, and Maya, and all those. They do their own preparations, their own grow a lot of their own food, and vegetables, and forage for mushrooms and all kinds of stuff. And
And then,
I see like these people, a lot of people that live more on like that is like it's about just kind of having a smaller carbon footprint, being
mhm,
not being part of the problem. I've been pretty much still living my life as part of the
I
problem.
like
So
that. Yep,
I'm at
I
the
like
point
that.
where I'm going to try and change it, like, or now I'm aware, so I have to change it. You know, I just need to get I'm definitely, you told me, was it 2 years ago now? It's like, no, so I'm 3 years into my manifesting, Chef and I, and our whole clique having all kinds of stuff going, and something. So 3 more years, and that's, I'm giving myself, kind of cracking the whip. No.
Oh, bro, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there a lot sooner than that. And I actually, we are coming up on the 2 hours, and I know you actually have some more work to do to get prepared for the
Oh yeah.
Dabadoo contest coming up soon.
Yeah.
I want to do one more giveaway here, though. The Grade A, some fish seeds. These are badass. These are the purple meds. Mr. Magpie has grown this out. If you're familiar with him, definitely check out his grow report.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get the seeds here, regular seeds, and also the jeweler's loop here, the grade A, some bitch seeds. There we go. Badass little loop. And again, this is USA only, please. Um,
Oh,
I'll
I
just go
should do a
ahead.
screenshot.
Woo, I'm upside
I'm gonna
down.
mess
I'm
it up.
upside down.
I
Right.
was like, oh, if I do a screenshot, I'll probably lose you.
Right. Some like funky noise comes up.
Well, I
All
have this
right.
new
So
iPad I'm not really used to yet, but it's cool.
Okay. Technology. Yeah. Playing with technology live is always risky. That's the bridge jumping of
I'm not a tech
technology.
guy.
No, me neither. All right. So just go ahead and type in grade A if you are in the US only, playing for the seeds in the loop there. Also give some bitch seeds a follow on Instagram. I need to add his stuff into the regular show
I
notes.
want to win that. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. It's funny. One time I put in, for like the word up there, I typed in like some bitch, and like 4 minutes went by, and there were only like 5 or 6 entries. I'm like, what the hell? And then I realized that there was like a swear sensor on it. So
Uh,
I had to change it. But he is on Instagram under that. And actually, let me just while we're sitting here just bullshitting, I'll pull it up and then put it into the chat there. You can follow his stuff. I'm not signed in on this computer. That's right. Son of a bitch. Oh well. Did you see what I did there? I didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
you
it
did.
though. Oh God. All right. So while people enter the grade A into there, tell us a little bit about the Dabadoo. What you got going on? I'm actually keeping you from doing work right now, so we'll wrap it up. But tell people
Oh
about the
yeah, I don't know.
Dabadoo.
No, well, yeah, no, I mean, it's Mila's coming to town to do one of the Dabadoos. It's going to be hosted with the people that are involved with the sweet grass. I hope I didn't butcher it, but Cassandra and the two Bens, they're going to be hosting in the Dabadoo. A lot of great hash makers, a lot of really talented artists that I know personally too, just that are out there doing it in Maine and Mass and all over. There's a bunch of people that are coming as guests. I think Adam Dunn and a bunch of and Dave and who else is going to be there? Jendo, a bunch of
Oh yeah,
obviously
I
Mila,
heard.
of course, and
Yay! I love me,
yeah.
man.
So I'm looking forward to, and I'm honored and very blessed to be able to. Uncle Doobie's got an entry with Miyawaka Alchemist and Art and Craft Canna, Durago Dank. Oh, there's so many. Like those, I mean, and then all these other names that I know of because I've heard of their impeccable work. So it's just an honor to be able to go and hang out with some really, really amazing hash makers and rosin makers because there's, I guess, two categories. One is melt and one is rosin. So, and Tigro will be there. Of course, he makes phenomenal dry sieve and rosin. So it's going to be it's going to be cool because it's going to be hanging out with a bunch of friends with making new friends.
Yeah, and all very passionate about what they're doing because the Dabadoos are special events. Mila the Hash Queen from Netherlands. Um, this is her event, and it's cool that Madam Cannoli, Kimberly, is combining forces for this one. That's going to be a special thing, man. If we weren't just in the Netherlands and got to see Mila, we would fly out and be at this event just to see her and hang out and see you. So maybe next year I don't do the Netherlands thing and we come out to a Dabadoo because the year before when we were out there we were hanging out and she literally the next morning was getting on a plane to fly to San Francisco. I'm like, you're going to be in the US before I am. So she always seems to come over right after we're there.
Yeah, it's
But
going to be cool because, like I said, normally I go to an event and I really don't know anybody because I've been kind of just, really low key or, still like now it's just like, no, we need to get the word out, like whatever, they can't do anything anymore. But that's what we can't, like, we're so lucky that we have this opportunity to, not necessarily worry, not, not that we can't worry at all, but, it's a lot different environment now, and we have to be thankful. That's like paying homage to all the people
yep,
that put all
yep,
that work in.
definitely. It's oh gosh, that brings up
Like you
something that
got
we
to,
could probably talk for 2 more hours about. Because where's that cutoff line? It's like
and
something like
I
an
can talk and
Afghani
talk
number
and
one
talk.
as an example. It's been hybridized so many times. It's like let's say somebody has a strain that's like 10 steps away from that. Do people still? I don't know. Anyways, let's give away these deeds here. Great A. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We got another
Great. Hey.
125 people in there. Good luck, USA only. If you are the winner, please just hit me up through the IG and we will get you taken care of. So, who's going to tie sticks?
Oh,
Damn. Jeez. That's awesome, everybody. I'm like talking about today is coming up. Why? Because they always hang out in the shows. They're always here for it. So tie sticks. brother. Again, I don't know if you have the some bitch seeds. Yeah, I know you've got a lot of stuff for me, but are you experienced? And if you're not, I do actually have a couple of selections from some bitch seeds too. So hit me up, Ty. We'll work out something special for you. We'll make sure that you get something that is new to you. Or maybe if you need me to restock you on something that you loved, I can do that too. But I'm gonna write you down Tastix, some bitch. And then Fresh Baked, you were gonna hit me up as well. And Plant Killer won the posse earlier. So badass, dude. Ah, man, John, where can people find you? What can they expect in the future? Do you want to maybe shout out Chef Sticky Richie? I'm going to open the floor to you to
Yeah.
let people know who to follow, who to look for. So please, the floor
Wow.
is yours.
I don't. I wish I don't have a list in front of me, but like a lot of the people that I've been saying throughout the whole show, obviously Chef Alex, Sticky Richie, uh, Ty Grow, Tyson, martial artist. Got to throw him in there because he's one of the. He's the he's the mushroom
Yeah,
guy. He's like, really skilled grower too. We're gonna see, a lot of he's back doing that too now. So I'm so excited. He's got a great energy about him, and we bonded with all these people that are like they're like family. Pretty much, we go and hang out and test, smoke weed. Owen, Good People
rough life.
Gardens. He's up with Dan at the Rebel Grown. Dan, um, they're that's that award-winning Doc 15 that's been winning. They've been doing some work with and some crosses too. But like all these people, yeah, man, that's kind of
Man.
like, well, and Uncle Doobie and Miyawaka, Chris. Well, anyway, it's going to be good because even pretty much me, Alex, Sticky Richie, Tyson. Well, Tyson's there, and Sticky Richie's going to be his +1. Alex is my +1, and then Uncle Doobie and Miyawaka Forest or Alchemy is they're going to be there. So it's going to be cool because I already have like a lot of people that I already know. So it's not going to be like, oh, we're just 2 or 3 people together. Like, so it's going to be cool kind of having the whole, I don't know who else is going to be there, but like, I'm excited to finally, to meet Mila and, pay, definitely give her my love and, admiration for her being such a innovator and, entrepreneur and, badass woman.
Fascinating. Yeah, fascinating human being. Like she's incredible, man. Anybody like read her book? She was a fashion designer. She had the first coffee shop in Amsterdam. She sold mini skirts to Tina Turner. Like traveled, the oh god, her life is amazing. It's why the book is this thick. And she wrote it, and it's one of the easiest reads ever. I skipped straight to the section about growing in Amsterdam. Oh God, easiest read. I went straight back to the beginning and yeah, started it. So have fun, man. She's a I, there aren't words for like the kindness and the awesomeness that she just gives to me
Long live the
and my wife
queen,
and
the queen
my
of
kids.
hash. Inhale to the queen.
Yes, yes, yes. Amen to that. Well, dude, you have fun and good luck there. I will talk in between, but I'm eager to see how things go for you. And good luck,
And we're
brother.
gonna
You got
have
to
to
pick up
do
another trophy, another Dabadoo
do a
trophy for you. It's not your first.
well, this is
You got a trophy that
there's
says
I
Dabadoo.
well, third place. But you know, this is like, yeah, this is good. I know a lot of the people, Darago Dank, there's all these Art and Craft Canna, Jeff and his wife, they're up in Maine, they're amazing people. Um, he doesn't even use a freeze dryer. So there's gonna be some amazing terps. All these other people too that I don't know, but I know of when I saw the list. I was like, oh shit, this is real. It's on.
Yes, sir. All right,
No,
walk in
but
there like the boss you
no, I
are.
just feel blessed to be in the list with the people. I'm just like, well, okay, well, all right. We are all bringing our best. So
Yeah. Well, you belong, brother. You belong. And thanks for hanging out today, dude. Thanks for spending some time
thank
with me
you.
this afternoon.
Appreciate
I
you, bro.
appreciate it. Yeah. Everybody in chat, guys, stay tuned. More stuff to come on the channel. Thanks for hanging out today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I missed it. It's been a month since we've done it live. I got to catch up with a good friend today. And you guys are funny as hell, as always. It's funny because it's true, right? I love you guys, chat. Y'all have a good day. We will see you next time. Party on.
1, 2.